Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast. This is IGBO Global Network. My name is Tony Nwisi. I'm your host for tonight. We're continuing with the campaign demanding for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Demand for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is IGBO Global Network. You can connect with us on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. On Facebook is IGBO Global Network. On Twitter, it's IGBO Global Net. And on YouTube is IGBO Global Network. You can connect with us. Our number is +1 202 787-8909. We continue the conversation on the unjust, the evil incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the abuse of his human rights by the state of Nigeria. And in the last few weeks, we began to confront IGBO politicians on what they are doing concerning the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Last week, we had a robust conversation in absentia with Chief Emmanuel Nwanyawu of Ohanaeze Ndigbo to try to figure out exactly what they are doing for Ndigbo. Ohanaeze are supposed to represent Ndigbo, but we begin to wonder what they are doing for Ndigbo, because Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime. Nnamdi Kanu is not guilty of any offense anywhere in the world, yet Nnamdi Kanu's liberty has been taken from him for the past 3 years. And we're asking ourselves, what is Ohanaeze doing for Nnamdi Kanu, apart from writing letters and making speeches? What is Ohanaeze doing? What are IGBO politicians doing concerning the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? We are supposed to operate a democracy, but that's what they call it. Sometimes I don't know what we're operating in Nigeria. But in a democracy, the politicians are supposed to represent the interests of their constituents. And so we'll look at IGBO senators, IGBO governors, and we'll ask ourselves, who are they representing? Whose interests are they representing? And it's time for you and I to use our voice, to use our platforms as IGBO men and women to ask the critical question. Who are you representing? Who are IGBO politicians representing? We have IGBO politicians in National Assembly. We haven't seen them walk out of National Assembly in protest. All we see is IGBO politicians receiving fat checks, traveling all over the world, taking their wife and children in London, America, for treatment, for holiday, spending money like drunken sailors, right? But we don't see them doing what they're supposed to do, in this case, fighting, demanding for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some people say, oh, I'm going to go to Abuja and beg and kneel down for Tinubu, and kneel down for Buhari, and lie on the floor for Buhari and roll on the floor. And we're asking ourselves, why the heck are you doing that? Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped by the Nigerian state. Nnamdi Kanu's human rights have been abused by the Nigerian state. So why are IGBO politicians begging? Why are you pleading instead of demanding? Why are you rolling on the floor instead of demanding for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why are they doing that? And now, interestingly, April 15, we saw a publication by AVID, American Veterans of Igbo Descent, right here in the United States. And they wrote basically a letter published in the Vanguard of April 15. The letter made available to the Vanguard, it reads as follows. I'm quoting the Vanguard newspaper of April 15. It said the letter made available to Vanguard read in part, "We are American military veterans of Igbo descent, AVID, who are currently serving or have served honorably in the United States Armed Forces. We have observed with alarming shock the level of disdain and the ignominious actions you exhibit against the people of Igbo descent since you became governor in 2019." So they're addressing Hope Uzodinma. Hence, our collective decision to write you this open letter. Another worrisome show of contempt for Igbos is your deceitful and covert conspiracies against the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, since his infamous extraordinary rendition from Kenya into Nigeria in the year 2021, and the persecution that ensued. It has become obvious that you do not want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu released from the unlawful incarceration the federal government of Nigeria subjected him to. Now, this is what Avid has written to Hope Uzodinma, and the chairman, the president of Avid is Mazi Onya, who I know very well, and who is a patriot and a solid statesman. While we are aware that several meritorious applications had before now been made to the trial, Federal High Court judge for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on bail, we have come to the ugly realization that Your Excellency is behind the continual refusal of such bail applications. Now, this is Avid. Saying it clearly to Governor Hope Uzodinma that you, Governor Hope Uzodinma, are behind the continual illegal and evil incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, denial of his human rights. That's what Avid is saying. I wonder what Governor Hope Uzodinma have to say about this. So this is an open invitation from Igbo Global Network to Governor Hope Uzodinma to please come to our studios to defend yourself from the comfort of your home or from the comfort of your office. We can connect you so you can speak to Ndi Igbo, because these are serious charges that Avid are laying against you. We are the messenger, and today we're here also as brothers to Nnamdi Kanu to have this engagement with you in absentia. Governor Hope Uzodinma, you are accused of having a part in the continual incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So we invite you, Governor Hope Uzodinma, to engage with us and put your side of the story. Ndi Igbo, unu anọ na ihe Avid kwuru. So every Igbo man or woman has a duty to call Governor Hope Uzodinma and ask him the same question we're asking today. What is your role in the continual incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That's the question every Igbo man or woman should be asking Governor Hope Uzodinma. And not just Governor Hope Uzodinma alone, but every Igbo politician. Because the time has come for us to know who is serving in Igbo and who is serving our enemies. The time has come for us to know who the wolves in sheep clothing are. The time has come for us to know who is for Igbo and who is for our enemies. Like my good friend Barrister will say, the face of Esau, but the voice of Jacob. The time has come for Ndi Igbo to begin to confront Igbo politicians, confront Ohaneze on the critical question, who is serving Ndi Igbo? Who is serving the interest of Ndi Igbo? And why have you, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, Chief Imane Nwanyang, our conversation with you continues, and why have you, Governor Hope Uzodinma, why have you not demanded for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That is the question we're asking. And that is the question that Avid is posing to you indirectly. They have come publicly to actually say, Avid, that is, American veterans of Igbo descent based in the United States, saying that Governor Hope Uzodinma, you and your cronies are behind the continual incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. So this is your opportunity to defend yourself. So I also have a response published in the Premium Time. But before I read that response, let me go to my panel and hear what they have to say about this. In the panel today, I have a veteran, Mazu Chembakwe, with us, Barrister Chukwuma Nekwe is with us, and also Pastor Neka, based in the UK. We have Mazu Uzodinma also of the legal profession, and Madam Clara also trying to join us. So let me come to the panel. What do you make of this letter by Avid, Mazimbabwe? What do you make of this letter by Avid, which is very clear, very explicit, stating in no unclear terms, in very clear terms, that Governor Hope Uzodinma is behind the continual incarceration of Mazimbabwe? What do you make of it?
My fellow Igbo men and women, my brothers and sisters, we have come again today. Last time we were reviewing the activities of Ohanaeze Igbo under the leadership of Emmanuel Iwanya. And today, our attention has been drawn to Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, the governor of Imo State. And you guys will recall that Hope Uzodinma rigged himself into that office. And then twice in a row, he has recently been re-elected governor of Imo State. And the problem in Imo continues. Does it mean that Ndi Igbo, we are meant to suffer to die in the hands of our brothers? Iwanya is an Igbo man. Hope Uzodinma also Dinjo is an Igbo, claimed to be Igbo man. In fact, sometimes I wonder, because he doesn't act like one people. There has to be something in his blood that we are yet to come to understand. You have been in that office. You were there when Nnamdi Kanu was abducted from Kenya. And under your watch, under your administration as Imo governor, Nnamdi Kanu has been tossed up and down, back and forth. His case has been heard over and over from the local court to Supreme Court. And in each of those, he has been established to be innocent. But the federal government continued to hold him because he has nobody fighting for him. As Ekbebu Nwadike is now man na prayer gafe. And that's exactly what's happening to the Igbo man. That's what's happening to us. As a veteran of the Biafran genocidal war, I've seen it all. I watched and experienced the pogrom. I saw not only seeing the genocidal war, I participated as a veteran. So the clause that are holding us bondage is, not only is it not only that of the outsider, but also the insider. Our fellow brothers and sisters are holding us bondage. Hope Uzodinma, how long shall you continue in sin that grace may abound? Do you have any feeling at all that even after you have passed through this, you're still going to leave your loved ones behind? And that a day will come, a day of reckoning will come. Maybe by then you have gone to join your fathers and leaving a mess for your descendants. You think you are going to take it lightly, or the youth are going to take it lightly? We are appealing to you today and urging you I mean, we are human beings. We make mistakes. Sometimes we think negatively. Sometimes we stray out. But the most important thing is coming back to reality to make amends. I mean, if you turn around today and act like one feeble, which I doubt you are, I mean, there's room for forgiveness. But let me tell you, if you think you can continue in this manner to obstruct the release of Nnamdi Kanu, to do everything, even going to sleep with the Fulani politicians, we're going to hunt you down. We will. It's only a matter of time. Avid has made their claim. They've made their accusation. It's up to you to come out and defend it. Come to our platform. Tell us, no, what they're saying is rubbish. This is what I've been doing. This has been my activities. I've always been working for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But it does seem that you are the strong force behind Nnamdi Kanu's release. What did Nnamdi Kanu do to you? Did it stop you from siphoning the funds of Imo State? All he was asking for, freedom for his people, including you, including your loved ones. Yet you feel because you are a Fulani proxy, you have every right to mistreat your fellow Igbo man. Look at what's happening in Imo State. How many young men have lost their life? You organize to have your people abducted and killed, and then you turn around and say, "Yeah, I'm doing great. Let's not continue in this manner because a day of reckoning is coming. It's coming very close because the youth are waking up now, and I encourage the youth to wake up fast because your destiny, your life, your career, your future is at stake. So today, Hope Uzodinma, all eyes are on you. And we're going to be calling you by name. We're going to be getting in your face. We don't care anymore. We don't care. We care less right now. We have to speak the truth. And it's only the truth that shall save every one of us. We will give you time to come to our platform and explain yourself. Otherwise, we're not going to let go. We'll continue to hound you until we get you. And we'll be telling you the day we get you, you'll be sorry. Over to you, Convener.
Thank you, Martin Bakwe. Barrister, I mean, one thing that puzzles me about this is Nnamdi Kanu's human rights. It just seems as if, these politicians don't even care. They don't care about his human rights. They don't care about his family, in particular his inalienable rights to freedom and liberty. But Avid puts it squarely in front of them in this open letter that he's responsible for Nnamdi Kanu's continued detention. What do you make of this?
Yeah, thank you, Convener. Thank you, Veteran. Thank you, Uzodinma. Thank you, all members of the panel. And again, let me thank Avid. I hope I'm correct. Avid, eh?
Yes, Avid.
Yeah, American Veteran.
Yeah, let me thank them very, very much because what they did is remarkable, and it is also very, very motivating for not only for Igbo, but for the entire human rights advocacy.
Yeah.
Because adding their own voice to call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and putting Hope Uzodinma on the spot is a mark of human rights advocacy.
Yeah.
And this should be emulated by other professional bodies that involve Igbo men and women in diaspora. Let me just briefly say that what Avid did should spur other people to see themselves as agents of Igbo self-determination wherever they find themselves. And what it means is that people should stop connecting Igbo self-determination to their individual successes in their various professions. This is what IVID have done for us today. I don't know them, but there are men and women that have served the United States of America. But they use their platform or their professional organizations to add their voice to the human rights issues that are bedeviling in Igbo. So once more, thank you very much, the people of IVID. And thank you very much, Governor, for bringing this thing to the fore of Igbo Global Network. So let me come in now.
Yeah.
Hope Uzodinma, you're on the spot. And you're on the spot, according to Avid, and according to the anecdotes out there, for being a participant in the violation of the right of Nnamdi Kanu. Your fellow Igbo man who did nothing wrong except demanding for the inalienable right to self-determination of his people. So Hope Uzodinma, you heard the letter today, and the question is, are you complicit in the violation of Nnamdi Kanu's rights and the violation of the rights of Ndi Igbo, as because it is part of the underlying quid pro quo for the Fulanis to impose you on the great people of Ndi Igbo? We cannot say anything, but your complicity shows that there was a quid pro quo. And the quid pro quo can be reasonable, said to be, deliver Nnamdi Kanu and you continue to rule Imo State, not to lead Imo State. Because if you really want to lead the people of Imo State or lead the Igbo people, you will not be happy to comfort during the election. And the same Supreme Court that earlier declared you that you did not participate, you did not validly participate in the election, turned around to declare you the winner. So we are asking the question today. Hope Uzodinma, you must come to Igbo Global Network to explain to us whether what Avid said is not true. And what have you done so far to push for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, or to question the gross violation of his human rights that started from Kenya? Because you're supposed to question why Nnamdi Kanu should be treated like a mere object. You're supposed to question why any Igbo man or woman or children should be treated like that. Because even the slaves inside the slave plantation, I don't believe that they will be I don't believe that the masters treated any of them like that. Even Willie Leach cannot treat the slaves like that. Hope Uzodinma. But your own brother, who stood up as the consciousness raiser of the Igbo nation and the entire Biafra land, just like Moses that stood up for the self-determination of the children of Israelites in the Bible, was kidnapped, tortured, humiliated, dehumanized. and forced back into Nigeria. But what you are hearing from you, Hope Uzodinma, is that you are doing something. You don't want to say what you are doing. So why should we hide your face to be doing whatever thing that you say that you are doing? If you are a champion of human rights or want to demand for the human rights of your people, why should we be in darkness? You can't demand for human rights in darkness. Human rights concept is an instrument of light. So Hope Uzodinma, if you are demanding for the rights of Nnamdi Kanu and the rights of Ndi Igbo that is being trampled upon in Nigeria since the coming of the white supremacist Britain, you will come out in the open to say how you are championing the rights of Nnamdi Kanu and the entire Ndi Igbo. Are you allowing them to massacre the Igbo youth in Imo State and beyond? Just for you to fulfill part of your bargain with the Fulanis. And I'm using this opportunity to call out Shell, to ask Shell and the entire British government whether they're going to commit genocide against the Igbo nation twice. I'm calling out Shell because I want to ask them if they are complicit in the act of Hope Uzodinma because of Asa power plant. Did they impose Hope Uzodinma to act like the Goebbels of Nazi Germany that annihilated the Jews? Do they impose Hope Uzodinma so that they can act like him to annihilate the Igbos, so that Shell can have unfettered access to the gas in Igbo land? We are asking this question. That's why Avid did very well to bring out Hope Uzodinma. So we are putting Hope Uzodinma in the same spot with Shell Petroleum to say, why are you trying to commit genocide against the Igbos twice? You were complicit in the genocide against the Igbos from 1967 to 1970. And still, this century, we are looking the other way. Why Hope Uzodinma is busy with the complicity of the Nigeria state, which is an offshoot of the British slave plantation, to annihilate the Igbo youth, to keep quiet, whereas the rights of Nnamdi Kanu and the rights of the entire Igbos are being violated. We want to say it very, very publicly that we know the game. The game is to impose people like Hope Uzodinma and turn around to come and say that the Igbo leaders are not saying anything because Nnamdi Kanu is not representing the aspiration of the Igbos. But the whole world knows, all the enemies of the common heritage of mankind knows that it is a lie. That's Nnamdi Kanu. The truth is that Nnamdi Kanu embodies the aspiration, life, and future of the Igbos in accordance with their right to self-determination. And this is why we are giving this opportunity to Hope Uzodinma and other Igbo politicians to know that this is the time for them to either stand up for the Igbos like Nelson Mandela, or be complicit in the gross violation of the rights of Igbo people and Nnamdi Kanu, like Chief Matanzima, who happened to be Mandela's nephew. So this is the time for Hope Uzodinma, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, and other Igbo governors, Chief Emmanuel Iwayangu, the new leadership of ADF, and any person that peddled himself or herself as Igbo leader, to stand up and demand for the dignity of the Igbo man and woman, for the right to self-determination of Igbo man and woman, and for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who is a counter-terrorist activist and not a terrorist. Thank you very much, Convener. I yield back.
Thank you so very much. The whole thing is baffling to me. It's baffling to common sense. You know, Mazi Uzodinma, just to bring you in to weigh in on this matter. You know, In particular, now that Avid has come out and public clearly that Hope Uzodinma is responsible for the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What is your message to Hope Uzodinma and to Igbo politicians who are supposed to represent the interests of Ndi Igbo in National Assembly, and in particular Nnamdi Kanu in this instance? What is your message to Hope Uzodinma and to Ndi Igbo?
Thank you, Mr. Convener. Thank you, my learned counsel. Thank you, Chief Mbakwe. I'm very happy to be in this conversation. Actually, we should be concerned for what is going on in our homeland. The IVID have done a very great job.
Volume.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, please speak up a bit more. Speak up a bit more.
Okay. The IVID have done a very great job. I am very happy. I never heard about them, but I'm very happy that Igbo people still have a veteran organization in the United States.
Yeah.
Especially the Igbos that fought the war, that migrated to the United States, and still embodies the pains of Ndi Igbo. My family share one of the casualties of the war. Major John Igwesi was my uncle. He came back after the war, and we never heard about him again, as I was told by my father. One thing about our people is this: we are not reliant when it's come to fighting for the right of our people, especially the Igbo politicians. The Hope Uzodinma, His Excellency, that we're talking about today, we knew his role. He's a mole in the heart of Ndi Igbo. Hope Uzodinma is a problem to our people. He's not a leader, he's a ruler. We all knew that Hope Uzodinma represents the interest of the oppressors of our people. He represents the interest of the slave masters peddling as leaders in Igbo land. Let me put it this way. Look at what happened in the Western Nigeria last week. The Yoruba nation agitators went to Ibadan to occupy the office of the governor and the National Assembly. They were armed. They were armed with a lot of things. What happened? They were arrested and just shown on the media. Yesterday, the Afenifele, a few days ago, went to the Aso Rock to rehearse with the president. At the end, no military was deployed to the Western Nigeria. No building was burned down. None of the youth were arrested. No roadblock or so on. But in the East, whenever they see people with the inscription of Biafra flag or whatsoever, they deploy DSS, they deploy the army to kill our people. At the same time, they militarize our zone. We can see what is happening there because Yorubas, they have a united front. None of them were declared terrorists or whatsoever in their pursuit of their union. In the pursuit of their interests. But in the East, they planted their agent to our people, which Hope Uzodinma represent. I want to tell Hope Uzodinma today that they have killed our people enough. Most of our youths have been eliminated. Most of our people have been killed. There was a day about 20 youth were killed in Imo State. Women and old women, they were crying and nothing happened. And when you say anything in Imo State, you will be killed or you'll be targeted. As you can see today, Hope Uzodinma did not bring any developmental interest that we select that attracts tourists or investors in Imo State. All Hope Uzodinma brought in Imo State is catastrophe. He brought shame, intimidation, and death to the people of Imo State. Hope Uzodinma mastermind the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu He's a national leader of the APC. He's the governor of Imo State. There was a time he was the governor, the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum. And he's the leader of APC in the Southeast. So whatever thing that Hope Uzodinma tell Mr. President is what Mr. President will do. Mr. President, listen to him more than any other leader in the East. Currently, Hope Uzodinma is not doing even enough as a governor. He's always in Abuja, representing the interests of the party. So Hope Uzodinma hands is there for what Nnamdi Kanu is passing through today. Hope Uzodinma is not doing anything for Igbo people. Hope Uzodinma hated our people. His hatred extends to what is happening in our land. They militarize our zone, targeting a particular interest, who speak against their atrocities, who rise up against their interests in our land. Hope Uzodinma, I want you to know today that your time is up. You have all it takes to tell Mr. President to release Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu did not deserve what he's going through today. A man who was kidnapped. Martin Luther King said that unjust law is not a law. What is happening to Nnamdi Kanu and to Igbo race is unjust law. And you are a leader in position to speak against that. But you took a side with the oppressors of our people. And we see you in that same lens as one of the oppressors of our people. Your own is no longer a news. You killed a lot of our youth. You ally with Asali Dokubo to kill our people. You ally with Mohamed Buhari to kill our people. You form a bubagu against our people. You kill a lot of our men, a lot of our fathers. The youth that you kill, they are father to somebody. They are our brothers, uncle, husband, and so on. But today, instead of you to make a move, you bring Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu to your fold. This is all you care for. Before was Obiozo. Before Obiozo died, now you make sure that you install another of your men to continue with your atrocities. Hope Uzodinma, we want you to know that everything that is happening in our land, if IFID can issue a statement in that regard, the people that witnessed the first hand of genocide against our people, they endure it, they witnessed it, they defended our land, they saw everything, they knew more than your father. If they can issue a statement that to tell you that you have no place to hide. And I'm calling on Igbo youth to rise up, be fearless. We have to confront all this situation head on. When a situation like this befell the people of South Africa, they stop looking side by side. They confront it head on. The same thing happened in Ethiopia against the Italian invaders. What's stopping us from standing toe to toe against our oppressors? The only sin that Nnamdi Kanu committed was to stand up. Nnamdi Kanu was in comfort zone, a prince in that regard. He had everything comfortable to make his life beautiful. Just like Colonel Ojukwu. He left those things behind for the love of our people. He came down, lay his life, put everything behind to make sure that he liberated our people. But today, our people is rising up against him. IGN have said, no, we must be with Nnamdi Kanu, toe to toe. We have to speak for the right of our people. If the Yoruba people can defend their own race, what is wrong with our own Igbo people? But you who oppose Uzodinma, you have been a problem to our people. there is no good news on your side. All you do is to confront any good thing that comes to Igbo race. We implore you today to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is released from that dungeon. He doesn't deserve to be there. Nnamdi Kanu have to be released. We hold you on that area because you embodies whatever thing that Nnamdi Kanu is passing on there. Thank you.
It's interesting what you said about Yoruba youth last week, just last week, confronted Governor Makinde. They went to Governor Makinde's office to take over one of their buildings. And the Nigerian government did not deploy soldiers. They did not militarize Ibadan or your state. They did not kill any of those Yoruba brave young men and women who were fighting for Yoruba nation. When it comes to Ndibo, when it comes to Alibo, that is when they deploy all of these things. And it makes me wonder, the politicians who are supposed to represent us in National Assembly, what are they doing about this? Ohaneze in particular. I mean, some people call them Ohaneze Ndoshi, who have elderly men, octogenarians, who are supposed to be fathers, who are supposed to represent Ndibo. If the politicians are not doing anything, why is Ohaneze doing nothing about it? And this is not for our own people. If the time has come, just like Master Uzodinma said, to all of us to raise our voice, use our platform to confront Ohaneze and confront Igbo politicians. Because I am honor here, passed a 1999 constitution that seized our assets, seized our freedom, does not allow us to police ourselves. And some idiot in Abuja has to decide who's going to police Alibo. Right? So, what did Ohaneze do? 1999 constitution. They did nothing. Nnamdi Kanu, 3 years. Nnamdi Kanu hasn't held down. What has Ohaneze done? Nothing. Talking, appealing to Nigerians. What the heck do you mean appealing to Nigerians? The evil politicians themselves, they couldn't care less. So Ndibo, that I know that we're on our own. It's up to us, every Igbo man or woman, to use your platform, use your organization, use your business, use whatever you have to confront these idiots head on. We have to confront these politicians, confront Ohaneze. Because without it, nothing is going to happen. You know, these people they're supposed to protect our interests. They're supposed to be acting for us. I don't see them doing anything. I don't see them doing anything whatsoever. The story that Master Uzodinma just shared with us about Yoruba self-determination, Master Mbakwe, I wonder what you make of it. You know, the young men and women, you know, trying to exercise their inalienable right to protest, and went to Makinde's office, and they occupied the one of their offices. What do you make of that, Mazen Bakwe? I share the reaction of the government of Nigeria, you know, and the reaction of their traditional rulers, their leaders, compared to that of Ndibo.
Yes, what happened recently in the West is way to go. That's the way it should be. It does not matter what the federal government is talking and saying about it. This is why we're in a mess in Igbo land, because we're so docile, so feeling unconcerned, yet we are dying. And that's exactly what's happening to us. How long shall we continue this way? We have seen Yoruba group doing something. Why can't we just imitate what they're doing? Forget about dying. We're already dead. We are just walking dead. he that is down need fear no fall.
Absolutely.
When are we going to get bold enough to pick up our loincloth and walk? We have seen enough evidence of there is nothing like political solution in anything in like it does not work. That is why those young men and women, took over, went over to their Mackinday's office and seized the building and
I'm sorry
said,
to
enough
interrupt
is
you.
enough.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. What is the meaning of political solution when it comes to somebody's human rights? What is political solution? Political solution there means that we're going to give up something. If you want us to reason Nnamdi Kanu, then we're going to give up something, some of our political rights. That's what it means. And that's what these idiots in Ohaneze are talking about. That's what.
But they are not implementing it, they're not applying it. I wish they could apply that political solution. Say, okay, if you give us this, we'll let this happen. They are demanding nothing. All they're demanding is money in their pocket. Okay, take Nnamdi Kanu. That is the very stupid political solution mentality idea in their head. It doesn't do us any good. So they are just pretending. They are not doing any political solution, because a political solution has give and take. What is their take? All they're doing is giving their brother away. All they take is back is money into their pocket. We cannot continue that way. And we're telling them today, we're telling Uzodinma, Uzodinma, just because people have been quiet, silent, you feel you can keep doing what you're doing, arranging to kill your people, your young men and women. After killing them, then what? Who are you going to rule? So we cannot continue this way. Something has to give. And today we are calling on you, Uzodinma. Come and exonerate yourself. If you think the accusation being made leveled against you is wrong, if you think you have been working to the best interest of Indigo, if you think you have been working under cover, under the blanket to have Nnamdi Kanu released, at least put it on bail. You are not doing those things. That you want him to stay there and die because you want to continue in your looting. You want to continue to kiss the Fulani man's ass. Excuse my language. And we are getting raw every day, and we will unleash very soon. Mine is it's not a threat, it's what because we have seen it, we have endured enough. We have endured enough. Our children have no future. They have no future. Then what do you expect us to do? So either you come to your senses and understand that the direction you are going does not spell future for any of us, especially the Igbo people. It doesn't. In fact, the name Uzodinma spells pain. It's tantamount to pain, suffering, betrayal, killing of my people. That's what it is to you. If I can kill as many, yes, that's what hope. Of course, it's hopeless. We are hopeless right now with you. So we will encourage you, urge you to take a step back and begin to fight for your people. Fight for the Igbo man. Fight for your brother Nnamdi Kanu. Can't you just emulate what the Yoruba group are doing in that to Son Igbo? Now, those young people that went and seized the government house, what happened to them? But in your land, you will arrange and have soldiers come and kill your people. I think it's enough is enough. And something has to be done. The Imo state people should at least begin something. Because as if you are not, if you remain there docile, how do you expect other states to come in and assist? I urge Imo residents, either in diaspora or at home, to begin to agitate. If you keep quiet, then how do you expect people from outside to come and help you? We cannot continue to be afraid. We're already dead. And so today, I'm appealing to our Imolites in diaspora, as well as those at home, not to relent. You all there when Hope rigged the election and they even contest, and then they remove Inedio. And now coming, he was re-elected again. Everybody was docile. How can you continue like that? You want Anambra people to come and help? Or you want Abia people to come and help you? Then you have to start. So I think we are to blame. We are to blame because the Fulani, in fact, they're happy that that we're destroying ourselves when we should be fighting for a common good. So anyway, today is a day of sorrow. Let me put it that way, because Nnamdi Kanu cannot continue, because he's human. He's wearing out, and the longer we let him stay under the hands of DSS, the more the unexpected will happen. And I hate to pronounce that. And if it does happen, there will be no peace in Igbo land. Hope Uzodinma, there will be no peace, with you and with your family. Thank you.
All right, so what do you make of the way Yoruba elders rallied around, first of all, Sunday Igboho, when he was having the same problem that Nnamdi Kanu did? They rallied around him in the Republic of Benin. Then after that, he got his freedom. He traveled to Germany. He came back. He's not in Nigeria walking about freely. Sunday Igboho called for self-determination for Yoruba people. And his people stood by him, supported him, rallied around him, gave him a hero's welcome. But now you come to Ali Igbo. Igbo elders, Igbo statesmen. What do you make of this? Why are Igbo statesmen so selfish and wicked and mean, and not to try and rally in the Igbo concerning the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? We have Ohaneze there who said they're representing us. Octogenarians, 80-year-old men. What are they doing? And who are they representing? What do you make of that? I don't understand why the Yoruba people easily mobilized and supported their sons and daughters asking for self-determination, but the Igbo elders did absolutely nothing for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Barrister.
Okay, thank you, Convener. You asked a very, very important question.
Can't hear you, volume. Can't hear you.
I said thank you. I said you asked a very, very important question. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, you asked a question. What do I make of the conduct of the Yoruba elders towards Sunday Igboho? And I'm going to come in now on maybe on multiple pronged approach. I'm going to use a multiple pronged approach to answer the question. First of all, what the Yoruba elders did cannot be divorced from the actions of the Nigeria security agencies towards the Yoruba agitators. Because you can find out that the way these Nigeria security agencies approach the young Yorubas, let me just zoom into the young Yorubas that went into Makinde's office and connect it with Sunday Igboho. you found out that they respected their rights. They did not apply collective culpability against the Yorubas. And this thing is supposed to show us a common thread. This common thread is also with the Fulani herdsmen. Wherever the Fulani herdsmen attack a community, rape the women and girl children, and mutilate the anatomy, and change demographic composition, the mantra will suddenly change that you cannot inculpate all the Fulanis because of the actions of some criminal Fulanis. So it shows that there are some people in Nigeria whom they respect their human rights and they don't apply collective culpability, which is a crime against humanity, against them. That was why when the Yoruba youth went to Bakinde's office, they, as Ozemene said, you do not see any military men shooting all the youths, burning the places and all those things. But if the reverse should be the case, they will come to Igbo land and burn everything, kill innocent youths, and take Igbos as fair game. So what does this tell us? It tells us that they see Igbos as mere sports, as mere object of game. They can do anything they want to do with the Igbos. They can dehumanize them. And let me come back again and deepen it. Let us press it back to Obibo. When we can say that some APOB members attacked some people during the exercise, what did Wike do? Igbo women in Obibo were abducted and raped en masse in Abuja. Young men and women were massacred with reckless abandon. In my own view, a genocide was committed, both qualitative and quantitative genocide. Any good-looking Igbo young man was massacred, we automatically be massacred at Obibo. No Ohaneze, no Igbo leaders called Wike to order. Wike applied collective culpability against the Igbos because it seems to be, it is the unwritten rules in the Nigeria security apparatus that Igbos and some others should be receiving different legal standard than others. And it is because our politicians and our so-called leaders, as you asked, as convener asked, they are not our leaders. Those people who are doing it against the Igbos knows that the people that are using their face, they are using them to create the optics of Igbo leaders. Whereas, actual factly, they are not Igbo leaders. So they knew that even if they massacre the whole Igbos, that the people that are going to present to be the spokesperson of the Igbos are equally their agents. They are mere body of Esau and voice of Jacob. So this is what's happened. This is why the Yoruba elders can come out boldly to demand for the release of Sunday Igboho. And this is why Sunday Igboho can come out boldly to demand for right to self-determination, and they respect it as a demand for their right. But when Namur can make the same demand legitimately, they will abduct him. They will first of all go to his father's house to try to kill him, and in the process, his father and mother will die because of the severe cruelty they witnessed, the trauma that visited them during that invasion. And still, they will go to Kenya, another country that's supposed to be a signatory of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and all the International Bill of Rights. They kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. They tortured him. They bring him to Nigeria. And they will go further to use the premise of their illegality to arraign him before a court. And a court will now say that Nnamdi Kanu should be detained at the DSS custody. But no Igbo politician, no Ohaneze will say anything. Hope Uzodinma will be there saying that he's going through the night to go and do something for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Do you need to go in darkness to ask for what belongs to somebody in light? It is a lie. Even some so-called legislators that are supposed to be lawmakers, are they not aware that right to self-determination is among the East congests, which they call the preemptory norms of all nations, which cannot be derogated? Nigeria cannot derogate that right, but no Igbo politicians, no governor, no member of Senate, no House of Reps member want to demand why the exercise of a preemptory norm of all nations by Nnamdi Kanu and the Igbos should now be treated as a criminal act. Whereas the exercise of the same preemptory norms of all nations by Sunday Igboho and the Yorubas are not treated as a criminal act. In the same vein, wherever the Igbos rise up to exercise their right to self-defense against Fulani herdsmen that rape their women, rape their girl children, mutilate their anatomy, and change their demographic composition, they will be termed criminals. But the same people who are violating their rights, their human right to dignity, their right to life, their right to freedom, their right to security of persons, will be freed. This is what is happening, and it brings us to the question: are they really Igbo leaders? Is Iwanyangu Chief Emmanuel Iwanyangu an Igbo leader, or just an embodiment of the interests of the oppressors, or an object they can use to create the optics that some people are Igbo leaders who are complicit in the gross violation of the rights of their own Igbo people? This is what, and this thing for me, finally, this is supposed to show us the reason why they will always be rigging elections in Igbo land. And I thank the veterans in the United States. They should help us to expose this thing, because there is no democracy in Nigeria. The annihilation of the Igbos is tied to the rigging of election in Nigeria. There is no judiciary in Nigeria. The judiciary in Nigeria is equivalent to the judiciary of the Nazi Germany. The judiciary in the Nazi Germany were complicit in the extermination of the Jews, who were equally the citizens of Germany. So the judiciary of the Nigeria state is a compliance in the gross violation of the rights of Nnamdi Kanu, in the gross violation of the rights of Igbo people. There have never been any judicial commission of inquiry to the collective culpability that is being meted against the Igbo people by the Nigeria security agencies for many years. This is what is happening. So when Hope Uzodinma keep quiet, when the governor of any of the Igbo states, including all the Igbo states in so-called other regions, when they keep quiet, they are keeping quiet because they believe that it is the unwritten rule within Nigeria that Igbos are just mere objects of fair game. Anybody can just come and use Igbo to do anything. They can use Igbo to practice how to unleash gross violation of human rights. So this is what the Protestants in Igbo land, this is why they don't speak out. Because they believe that it is an unwritten rule, that their own Igbo people and their own Nnamdi Kanu are nothing but mere objects that are expendables. But this is the time for us to awaken all the Igbos that they have the right to stop being a compliance to their own oppression, exploitation, and dehumanization by the so-called Igbo politicians and Ohaneze. They can do it by standing up for their rights. A man who is standing up for his fundamental human rights and die in the process is a man that died with honor. It is better to die with honor to die with dishonor. The challenge facing Igbos in Nigeria is the challenge of the slave plantation template. And only Igbos can stand up to demand that they don't want to be slaves again. That the slave proxies and satellite loyalists that answer politicians in Igbo land and Ohaneze or elders or leaders are not our leaders. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, if they don't speak for us when they are trample us down, we should not take them as leaders. They should not deceive us that they are our leaders. This is what I have to say. And this is why there's a difference between what the Yoruba elders did and what the Igbo elders are doing. There's a difference because there is unwritten rule within Nigeria that confine the Igbos to be expendables. Thank you very much, Convener. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, Barrister Nekwe. Ndi Igbo, you've heard it loud and clear. These people that call themselves Igbo leaders, these politicians, they do not represent you and I. My hope was Uzodinma, my Ohaneze, they do not represent Ndi Igbo at all. They represent themselves and the interests of the people that put them in power. So it is time for every Igbo man, every Igbo woman now to rise up and begin to confront these politicians. Maborowaha Senator, Maborowaha Governor, Maborowaha House of Rep. If you don't confront them, as IGN is doing, IGN is leading the way, demanding for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and confronting Ohaneze, confronting Hope Uzodinma. Next week, we're going to come back here and we're going to confront another governor on this matter. If you don't rise up, if you don't speak up, if you don't use your platform, then you are part of the problem that we have in our Igbo. We've said it before and I say it again, any woman or woman that does not publicly demand for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he is a traitor or a coward. Any woman that will not call for, and of course, Hope Uzodinma is a coward. Why has Hope not called for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why has he not demanded the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? All these Igbo politicians, every single one of them, they're all cowards. And it's time for us, they're either cowards or traitors. It's time for us to call them what they are. And every Igbo man or woman, you use your platform, use your voice, use whatever means you have to get the message across. And it's time to begin to ostracize these people. Call them what they are. They are misleaders. They are not our leaders. Ohaneze is not a leader of Ndi Igbo. They are misleaders. Ohaneze is going after their personal interest. All these politicians, they are misleaders. They are all traitors. They are all traitors. All these Igbo politicians, maybe apart from Governor Oti, we can see what he's doing, and we'll celebrate Governor Oti, his leadership. But the rest of these Igbo politicians, they are all traitors and they're all cowards. And no Igbo man should be calling them leaders anymore. They are all misleaders. And it's time for us to confront them and demand that they serve our interests or get a heck out of office. This is Igbo Global Network, broadcasting from Washington, D.C. Tonight we'll be discussing the issue of Hope Uzodinma and Avid, American veterans of Igbo descent, writing a letter clearly confronting Hope Uzodinma as responsible for the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And today, IGN has their voice in stating that Hope Uzodinma, it's time for you to come clean. It's time for you to come out publicly and demand and call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And it will call on every Igbo man or woman around the world, use your voice, use your platform, begin to demand for the unconditional and immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Until we come your way next time, my name is Tony Mwisi, and it's been in the studio, and from my panel in the studio, Mazin Bakwe. Mazin Bakwe.
Yep.
Your closing remark, Mazin Bakwe.
Okay, very good. Igbo leaders. No, they are not Igbo leaders. They are Igbo misleaders. You call them honorable men. They are not honorable men. They are horrible men. And so we have to start getting in their face and then naming them. Because when we name them, we shame them. until they change. And if they don't change, then we'll begin to unleash, because the youth are waking up. I keep saying that. This cannot continue forever. No. Hope Uzodinma, you've done enough. Your cup is full. I will advise you that you make immediate U-turn. You cannot continue to do this for our people. You have to understand that our life, our very existence is at stake due to either your inaction or non-action, or your misaction. Any way you look at it. I want to encourage our people, because my dad said, that is, if you are laid down on a side that is very uncomfortable to you, get up and rearrange yourself. That's what we need to do. We trusted these people, these so-called misleaders, thinking they were good leaders. But today we have seen it that they have failed us woefully.
Yeah,
and therefore we must have to take action and to begin to seek for a redress. Thank you.
Our time is up. Thank you. Master Zemina, you have 10 seconds to give a closing remark, and then Barrister Nekwe. 10 seconds. Our time is up.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Governor, and all the panelists. My advice to our people is to wake up.
Volume, please. Volume.
Okay. Yeah, my advice to our people is to wake up. If you want us to call you our leader, you have to do what a leader is supposed to do. At the heat of Boko Haram invasion, the Northerners and Fele never denied Boko Haram. They stood and told Guru Jonathan, attack on the north. Attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the north. They said that to Guru Jonathan openly. And the vice president now, when he was the governor of Borno State, he never denied Boko Haram. Even presently today, the Northerners, they are still defending a bandit. Even Gumi always telling them that I want to negotiate with them, even all the kidnappings, killings going on here and there. They never deny them. They are always too side by side with their people. And the security agencies have not done anything to those people defending their interest and the interests of their people, even those who are tagged terrorists by the federal government of Nigeria. In the East, anything that happened, we started calling ourselves names. We have no leader. They distance themselves from our people. The gap between the leaders and the people in Nigeria is very tall. It's not connected. The dichotomy between the leaders and the masses in Nigeria. So that the same gap that they can come to fill. They now tag him as enemy. They're jealous of him. So I am calling on Ohaneze Ndebo, Hope Uzodinma, to make sure that who much you give, much is expected. You call yourself a leader. Look at other regions of Nigeria, how they're defending their own people. Use that the same faith to defend Igbo people. Because if you fail to do so,
we're going to leave it there for now. Our time is up.
Thank you.
Our time is up. Barrister, 10 seconds, please.
Just Igbo youths, young men, young women, open your eyes, connect with your consciousness, and stand up against those who are reinforcing your own subjugation, exploitation, and oppression. Don't be afraid of any title. Any person that is reinforcing your own oppression, subjugation, and oppression is not your leader. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. I like what Barrister said. Don't be afraid of any title. Don't be afraid of any title. Whether you call yourself Eze or Nze, or you call yourself senator or governor. Don't be afraid, or even reverend. Don't be afraid of them. A lot of them are wolves in sheep clothing. If they are
even Ayotela.
If they are not protected, they are all Ayatollah, as the Veteran will say. Forget all those titles. They use them to mask the reality of who they are. They are wolves in sheep clothing. They are misleaders. These are evil men using offices to mislead our people. Demand the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Speak up. Use your voice. Use your office. Use what you have. This is the World Global Network. Until next week, when we'll come your way again, we're going to confront another politician next week. Thank you so very much. And good night from our studios in Washington, D.C.
Good night. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.